Okay, and then we're going to go down to Jennifer. Well, not down, but up. Jennifer's up in Michigan somewhere. Jennifer, how may we help you today?
Hey, Joe.
Hello.
I'm actually in Mississippi.
Mississippi? I guess that's right. Well, what are the two letters? Our screener put up MI, so and she's very bright, so she doesn't usually make these mistakes. But I'm glad you're in Mississippi because I'm assuming that's warmer right now than it is in Minnesota or Michigan. Okay, how may I help you today,
Right.
Jennifer?
Yes, sir.
How may I help you today?
All right. I actually typed my question out so I wouldn't forget what I was going to say.
Okay.
So my husband has been out of the house for a while, almost a year and a half. But his family, we're still married. Nothing's been done in that aspect. But his family still invites me to, like, Easter over the weekend and different things.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always felt like I should go because my kids are there, and I want to be involved as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
But I have other people that tell me that they don't feel like I should because obviously the other woman is allowed because they don't want to upset their son.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of puts me in an awkward spot. But some people tell me they feel like I'm playing big happy family and it's not really beneficial. But I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Okay. Well, as you have discovered, there are many people who know exactly what you should do. I mean, friends and family, like you're doing this, you're doing this. The thing is that they're speaking out of their own prejudices because they love you, they like you, they don't want to see you be mistreated in any shape, fashion, or form. And I admire that from them. But that's also why sometimes their advice is not the best advice because they're thinking only in terms of you. And how to make you feel better in the
Right.
moment. Now, here's my question. Let's just think about how you would feel. If you went there, and the other woman is there, but you're there because your kids are there, how do you think you would feel?
Right.
I'm sorry?
If I was the other woman?
No. If you go and she's there, how do you think you will feel?
Oh, I've been.
Oh, okay. And how did you feel?
Uncomfortable, but I don't know. It's been several instances now, so it seems like I'm getting more comfortable, which is kind of weird because I shouldn't have to be. But, I mean, it's okay. She tries to talk to me like she's a friend, which is bizarre, but I still talk, I talk back to her. I'm not ugly to her. It seems okay. It's not
Well, it tells
an
me right
ideal
now.
situation, but I'm not terribly uncomfortable.
Well, it tells me that you're a very strong person. Because what I'm hearing you say is that you go to these events because your children are there and you want to be with your children. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so if that's what makes you feel like you need to be there, like I'm the mom, I want to share these experiences with my kids, and then therefore I'm going to go, I think that's perfectly reasonable. Particularly now that you know that you can handle it. I mean, you've been enough that you know it's not going to throw me for a loop. I'm going to be there with my kids, etc. And in a kind of another sense, and I don't think this is your motivation, but even if it were a little bit of your motivation, it would be okay, just to show her that you don't intimidate me. I can go where I want to go. I can be who I want to be. And so do you ever feel a little bit of that, like you're kind of letting her know, you don't intimidate me, woman?
Sure.
Good for you. Good for you. That's a good Southern belle right there. And Mississippi's full of Southern belles, but I think you're a very strong Southern belle. So if I were in your shoes, I would go. I'd go to those experiences just to be there with my kids and share that with them. And I would not listen to my friends. What I would do is look what's inside of me, in my heart, what I'm feeling. Now, if you ever go where it feels like I just don't want to be here, then just leave. You don't, and if you
Right.
feel later you don't want to go back, then don't go back. But right now, you're doing what you want to do to be with your kids, and I think that's awfully strong. And based on the fact that it's not having a negative effect on you, I think it's awesome. I think I'm proud of your strength, young lady.
Right. I mean, obviously it still kind of bothers me a little bit, but it's not to the point where I can't function or put me down for any length of time.
Good. And if it does, if it starts having a real negative effect on you, then I would suggest that you not go. But the way you're handling it and you're getting to be with your kids and showing that you are a strong Southern woman, I like all of those things myself. It's always your decision. Always your decision. But I suggest
Right.
you be very careful about listening to the suggestions of your friends because they're talking about how they would feel if they went and they aren't you. You're a different person than they are.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
Okay? All right.
I had one more question, too, if
Okay.
you don't mind.
Sure.
So I actually have 2 kids. One was actually born after my husband had already left. Hey. But anyway, she was born after he had already left and everything. So she's not quite 1 year old yet. And I feel like I haven't let her go yet. And there's not anything, I don't know. So do you, or can you advise me on your thought process on how I need to even go about that? Because I feel like he just thinks I should just let her go at a certain age. But she's so attached to me, and she only sees him, in spurts. So I'm not sure how well that's going to go.
Well, if you think in terms of what's best for the child, you just told me what you believe is best. She's attached to you. She's around you all the time. She's hardly ever around him. And I think mothers protecting their children is as strong a thing as you can ever find. And if you don't feel comfortable with your baby being there at this point in her life, I think that makes sense as well. Now, some judge somewhere may at some point tell you what you're going to do, but as long as you still have control over this,
Right.
and you don't feel comfortable because the baby is attached to you and really not attached to the situation, I think it makes sense not to let her go. Now, but that's still your decision. Is there a factor involved in there where it's like you want to make sure she stays attached to you and doesn't begin to attach to that other person? Is that part of this as well?
No, I don't think so. I
Good.
mean,
Good.
my other daughter's around her, and she's attached to her. And, of course, whenever I hear her name, it's not ideal, and I kind of cringe. But it's not – I don't think it's that. I think it's just I'm worried that how I take care of my child and how she would take care of her while she's there with my husband, aren't the same.
Yep.
Because I saw that just yesterday.
Yeah. Well,
and
I think
that worries me.
Yeah. Well, in that sense, I think you're doing exactly the right thing. You're protecting your child. That's what mothers are supposed to do. So more power to you, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay.
All righty. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Jennifer.